Hello. In this video, we take a very quick look at DataStitch functionality in Oracle Integration Cloud. Simply put, DataStitches allow you to progressively update complex variables in your integration data flows. For this demonstration, we're going to create an app-driven orchestration, which will make use of a local REST connection. Let's give our new integration a name and set a keyword for it. To configure the start trigger, we will pick our local REST connection. We'll call it Process Data. We'll set the resource URI, and also, as we want to send and receive payloads of JSON data, we'll change the action to POST and configure the endpoint to receive and send a payload. The data format will be JSON, so let's define a simple input signature for the request. Our simple request payload will allow us to input some variables. With the input signature set, let's go to the response. Again, we'll just define that as a simple response output too. In order to keep this demonstration simple, again, we'll define a response JSON output with 3 matching output variables. Let's assume that we'd like to set a whole bunch of output variables from the beginning of the process. We may want to do this as our processes could end up being quite large, with lots of gateways and loops. Let's map for now the source input elements to their equivalent output elements. We'll add some tracking configuration so that we can save, close, and activate this very simple integration service. Once activated, we'll give it an initial test. The response payload is how we expect it to look, just a mapping of the input values to the output values. Let's deactivate the integration to edit it. We'll add a new mapper to the flow. Let's pretend that in our integration we have obtained, or we wish to set, the output variable 999 to a new value. We'll set output 999 to a string value hello. We will save, close, activate, and test this updated flow to see what happens. Notice that this time, only the output values for the final mapper have made it through to the result. The initial mappings that we made on the first mapper have been overwritten. Let's try editing the integration again, but this time we'll try something else. We'll add a data stitch. First, we'll remove that second response mapper from the flow and replace it with a data stitch action. We'll give the stitch action a name and then we'll configure it. It works in a similar way to an assign action in that you choose your target variable first. We'll set output 999 to the value of hello. We won't touch output 1 or output 2. Note that we're using the assign operation in the data stitch. OIC gives you the option to append or remove too. These are very useful in cases where you need to add or remove child repeating nodes to a complex element. With the stitch action configured, we can save, close, and activate the integration. Once activated, we can test it like before. Looking good! Not only do we have a value for 999, but also we still have the values for outputs 1 and 2. To summarize then, Using data stitch actions are excellent for updating your in-flight complex data structures. You can also use them to append and remove child repeating nodes to and from a complex element, so data stitches are a great resource for a developer.